Sé que está mal que ame la música, pero no es mi culpa. La música está en mis venas.
Hi Adrian, a pleasure to have you on the show. This is your first time as a director, and let me congratulate you. It has been a movie out of this world, literally.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel about it?
I'm very excited. We've been working on this film for about 6 years, and you know, every day we kind of are coming in and hitting these challenges and putting our heart into it, and all of a sudden it's at this point where now it belongs to the world. And to see the reaction when you're in the theater and people are laughing or people are crying, it just feels really rewarding to have that reaction from all the hard work.
We were all crying in the movie theater. So this movie, we are transported to this little town in Mexico. It's called Santa Cecilia.
Yes.
And we follow this boy named Miguel, and he's caught between the love and respect for his family and his passion, which is music. So can you tell us a little bit about the backstory of Miguel?
Yeah, we at Pixar we're all artists, and so we all identify with this feeling of having something inside us that we need to express. And we thought that was something really relatable for Miguel. In his family, though, there's a history where they don't allow music because of a musician who left the family. And it causes strife for Miguel because he wants to express himself, he wants to be an individual, but he also doesn't want to hurt his family. And the entire film is figuring out how to reconcile those two. It's about learning what to do with the talents you're given in order to make the world a better place. And you know, that was just something that we all as artists related to when we were making the film.
It was great, it was great. And the movie is named Coco, but who is Coco and why it's so important for the story?
Coco is Miguel's great-grandmother. He lives in a household that has 4 generations. It's a person who he's really close to, but she's the oldest person in the family. And you know, in the tradition of Dia de Muertos, it's about passing on stories and passing on traditions. And she's the keeper of the family story. She's the last person who has experienced life with all of these people on the ofrenda. And we just thought that she is such a symbol of this idea of what older generations have to pass down to younger generations, and the relationship they have, I think, is really interesting to see how it develops.
Quédate conmigo, amigo. No sé qué es este lugar.
About the creative process, how did you specifically choose to make a movie about El Día de los Muertos?
Very early on in the process, Lee Unkrich had pitched to the studio this idea of a film set on Dia de los Muertos, and I think the thing in animation, we're always looking for something that sparks the imagination. So the ability to develop, you know, this land of the dead and to you know, create these characters that are skeletons, and how do you take skeletons and turn them into, you know, family members and make them funny and make them relatable? How do you like feel their emotions? Those are the types of challenges that animation, I think, really thrives on. And you know, so we did research very early on to understand the meaning of the traditions and the purpose behind it, to really create a story that celebrated this idea of connection and this idea of family and this idea of family reunion.
Bienvenidos. ¿Algo que declarar? Ya que lo pregunta, pues, algo.
Did you find it difficult to approach death for a PG audience and still make it very, very emotional?
What we depended on in developing the story was the way that the tradition is celebrated in Mexico, where you might think it would be morbid or somber, but it's not. It's celebratory, it is joyful, and remembering your loved ones becomes a very optimistic practice. So when we understood that, it just felt right to create this land where it's not about being afraid, it's about celebrating, it's about being excited to see your family again. And I think that's the thing that shifts it from being a movie about death to being a movie about family and a movie about life and a movie about remembering.
And you have balanced it with vibrant colors and this beautiful death world.
And the music does a lot to bring levity and to express exactly what the feeling of the celebration is.
And it joins everything together. So the movie is very rich in messages, but if you had to pick one thing that you want people to discuss after they see Coco, what would it be?
After people see Coco, I hope that they leave the theater and they want to call their family members, or they want to, and hug them, get a plane ticket, and go to the oldest person in their family, and you know, turn on the recorder and say, tell me your stories, tell me about your grandparents, tell me about your childhood, because I think the more that we learn about where we came from, the more we know about ourselves, and I hope that this movie has that effect on people.
A lot of kids will relate to Miguel because he's a boy that he doesn't want to do what his family wants him to do. So how important do you think is to deliver this message to young audiences that you have to be authentic to yourself and follow your own path?
I think, you know, a lot of the times when you want to forge a different path than the one that came before you, it can be scary. It can be scary for you, it can be scary for the people who are there to support you. But, you know, the thing about family is that you're always there for each other, and in Miguel's family, it takes a long time for them to figure out how to communicate what they're feeling. But I think if everyone comes to the table with the well-being of each other, it takes time, but you can really allow people to be individuals within that unit, and it makes you stronger. It makes you stronger when you see each other for who you really are.
Toda mi vida siempre hubo algo dentro de mí, algo que me hacía diferente.
Es inútil negar a que has venido al mundo.
Ahora tú debes decidir.